In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best setups for Diana to make as much money as possible. So let's get right into it. The first setup is going to be the one that I have on right now, which is definitely more for the end game. You're going to need a Daedalus axe. Now, the enchants are important. Tier 6 enchants are good for champions and inquisitors, but One for All deals around 50% more damage, so you're going to have to choose which one. One for All is what I already had, so I'm just going to keep it, I think. You're also going to need a griffin pet, of course. It doesn't have to be level 100, but because the griffin pet is also a damage pet, it definitely helps. And you're always going to want Shadow Assassin boots, because it restores 10 mana every time you teleport, which basically reduces the cost of an aote to 15 mana. Using the Storm chestplate and leggings can give you even more mana, but put Ancient on them so your damage isn't garbage. And also use a Warden helmet because it gives you even more damage. Now, I have Leaping Swords because sometimes I like to level up armadillo pets, and Leaping Swords actually make that a whole lot faster. You can make like an extra 5 mil just from leveling armadillo pets each Diana. Now, a soul whip is important for Gaia constructs, but it's kind of an optional item. These are my healing items. Obviously, if you don't have a Hyperion, don't worry about it. Just get a Wand of Atonement, which is a good replacement. And please use either transmission on your Aspect of the End or Aspect of the Void. It's so much faster. Now, before I get into the next setup, I do want to mention that I just turned my aote into an Aspect of the Void. This is because it's a lot easier to use and you can literally just hold down right click to use it. Okay, now, for this next setup, I'm just going to be using Necron, and I also took the Hyperion out of my inventory and replaced it with the Wand of Atonement, like I was talking about. Now, why Necron? Shouldn't that be better than Storm? Well, because Storm gives so much more mana, I actually think it's better for Diana, even considering the damage loss. Also, you should still use Shadow Assassin boots. They're like 2 mil, so you probably can afford that. And I may mention, Warden helmets might be too much money for you, so if that's the case, just go with the Tarantula helmet. It's only like 10% worse. Necron comes with a few bonuses, and you might actually choose to use this instead of Storm even if you have it, because you do more damage and you're tankier, which both helps out a ton for Diana, especially when it comes to Gaia constructs. As you can see, I have 215 deaths to Gaia constructs. They are pretty dangerous. This makes me sad just to look at that number. Also, if you're not as rich, you might want to wait until after Diana has started before you buy yourself a Daedalus axe, because right now it's very expensive. If you wouldn't mind me axing, please subscribe. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try to respond to everything. Okay, so this last setup is something I made a video on before, and it's basically the bare minimum for Diana. Okay, so this is the setup I was just talking about. The set is a Tarantula helmet, Zombie Knight chestplate, Shadow Assassin leggings, and Shadow Assassin boots. So that's one option for Diana. However, it's not really realistic, because I don't think you could afford a Griffin pet and a Daedalus axe and still be that broke. Okay, so now I'm going to be testing out my damage on mobs. So, obviously, these are not mythological mobs. So how will I know the damage? Well, it's pretty straightforward, you just multiply it by 3. Okay, I'm going to put on the Shadow Assassin boots, and with this setup I do 261k, 251, 263, 244, okay, so somewhere in that range. Now I'm going to try that with the Tarantula helmet. Okay, so 233k, 230k, 237k. So yeah, it's about 10% less damage, nothing huge. You can probably handle it if you don't have a Warden. Okay, so if I were hitting Diana mobs there, that would be 760k damage with the Warden helmet, and about 700k without. Okay, so now I'm in this setup, and let's see how much damage I do now. So, to this crypt ghoul, I do 209,000. Here we do 234,000, that was a big difference. 226, 211, so let's say 220k damage, which translates to around 660k damage to a Diana mob. Somehow, that's actually almost as much as I did before the OFA nerf. That's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how much damage I did with the old setup that I used, which was Shadow Assassin with the Zombie Knight chestplate. However, this is before the OFA nerf, so it's probably higher than it will be now. Okay, so here's the old video I made. So it's all around the place. That's because I had Fabled. Actually, I believe I still have Fabled on my Daedalus axe. I'm going to have to change that because Withered is actually better now. Okay, so I'm still doing around the same damage to a Minos champion, about 600k. You can see it varies though because of Fabled. I hope you guys have a good time during Diana. Goodbye!